On the road to the Columbus Blue Jackets tonight from PNC Arena in Raleigh, North Carolina. The Blue Jackets and the Carolina Hurricanes. Jackets, as we join you here tonight, will be wearing their road whites. The Kings in their alternate third jerseys. We are awaiting the lights to be turned on here. Somewhat delayed. And Sergei Bobrovsky, oh yeah, there the lights are on. Bobrovsky 5-1 with a 1.67 goals against average and 1 shutout in 6 career starts against Carolina. Anton Khudobin, you see his record. Khudobin and the Canes had won 5 games in a row before coming into Columbus in early January and snapping their streak. Our officials tonight, Dan O'Halloran, Ian Walsh, Dvorsky, McPherson, the linesman. Tonight's telecast presented in high definition by Time Warner Cable. We are underway. Sekera, third star of the National Hockey League this week, sends it ahead, and Falk drives it deep. Fedor-Tutin paired with Jack Johnson. Here is Foligno. The outlet pass knocked back by Umberger, and Jack Johnson will hammer in. Falk will play it. He will represent Team USA in the upcoming Olympics. Steps momentarily behind Khudobin. Artem Anisimov deep in the zone. We've got Jenner, Horton flanked on the wings. The outlet pass by Hainsey. Moved by Semin to the offensive blue line. Drop pass there. Talusti with a shot, and it sails wide. This line, although they were certainly struggling earlier on in the year, broke up the last time we played these Canes, but reunited, they were far and away the best line for Carolina in the abbreviated schedule a year ago. It's sent to the offensive blue line, and it's Eric Staal. Staal looking in front, defending, and doing a great job there was Ryan Murray. Artem Anisimov from his own blue line looks to the right wing for Nathan Horton. Horton with 32 points in just over 40 games against this Carolina Hockey Club in his career. 16 of them are goals. Here, top of the circle, spins, turns. Horton now tied up briefly there by Hainsey. Protects that puck. It does come free, and it's played with an outlet pass there by Gerby. And swept ahead, bouncing puck. There's Cody Goluboff, his first game of the Blue Jackets this season, wearing jersey number 48. When you listen to Todd Richards this morning, he says it's deserving, the elevation. He has played consistently well all year long, and in fact has been named to the American Hockey League All-Star team. Well, how about tonight's Toyota Keys, presented by your Central Ohio Toyota dealer?
Well, tonight's structure is certainly going to be needed by this Columbus Blue Jacket team. Carolina, they are rolling. They've won 3 in a row. They're fast, aggressive. Rebound. Can the Jackets come back after that loss the other night against the Buffalo Sabres? That has to be in the cards with hard work. And then play 5-on-5 hockey. Good discipline the other night. That has to continue in this game.
Approaching the 2-minute mark. Jackets pressure in the zone. Dubinsky gets it ahead to Cam Atkinson. Atkinson to the point here for Nikitin. Goluboff waits patiently on the right side. Nikitin tried to send it towards the net, then decided to find Goluboff up high. The shot direct right at the net. And Khudobin will hold on, and we've got Komisarek pushing and shoving. Separated by the linesman. And that will give us an opportunity to take a look there at Kirk Muller, who was very high, Bill, in his praise this morning for the Blue Jackets. Said the Jackets' identity, they've got a great transition team. They go hard to the net, and today we've got to be strong in our own zone.
Yeah, and that's the best compliment you can have. When you have a coach tell you that their identity is hard to play against, that's exactly what you want to hear. It's a transitional team. It's a blue-collar team. He has the utmost respect for what Todd Richards and the staff have done and the players that are following suit.
Wilmo Ruutu attempted to get a stick on it. Here's Corey Trapp. Truton lets one fly. It's in, and the rebound put in as well. I don't know if it was the first one that went in or McKenzie, who will continue a goal-scoring streak if, in fact, that went off the inside of the post. We'll get a look at it. Either way, the Blue Jackets have the first goal of the game.
And look at who it is once again. It's that fourth line coming in. You see the move by Trapp to be able to fire it back to the point. And then when Truton lets it go, it does look like it goes in to that short side. We'll have to get another view. But there's McKenzie. Letestu, he's around there as well. But the Jackets get on the board right away. That's what you want to do on the road. Get the crowd out of it.
Well, we'll get a look. We'll get a look here if there's a closer replay. I thought it went off the inside of the post. But we're going to get another look at it here shortly. And from the face-off, we'll get a look at it here. Truton lets it fly. Well, can't see from that angle either. But doesn't matter. The Jackets have the goal. And we'll wait for the official announcement. Foligno in front. Jackets lead 2-0. How about that? R.J. Umberger on the rebound. And we've yet to play 3 minutes, and the Jackets come storming back with back-to-back goals here on successive shifts.
What do the Jackets do right away? Off of the face-off, they get the puck deep, and then they begin their work. Again, that line. When you've got Johansson in the middle, you have Umberger on the right side, Foligno on the other one. Well, you can see Umberger, he's the recipient of a little bit of a rebound. You see the tip down in front of the net. In fact, it doesn't even get to Hudobin. It comes right back out to Umberger. He's there all alone to make it a 2-0 game.
Jackets have the first 3 shots, and they found the back of the net behind Hudobin for a pair of goals. Stahl tried to clear it on the right side. Jackets pressure. Jenner first on that forecheck. Handed here to Ron Hainsey. Hainsey with a cross-ice pass at center. Chopped ahead. Toulousny had it briefly. Chases it on that far side, but the Jackets will clear, sending it up and out of play.
Well, that's exactly what you want to do. You get on the road, get things rolling. Again, your fourth line comes out. It gets it started. Then the line with the Johansson, Foligno, Umberger, they get going. They have been able to roll 4 lines and do it comfortably. That's what you want to continue to do. 5-on-5 hockey.
Well, as certainly we looked from up here, it did appear as if McKenzie put the rebound in off the goalpost, and we're getting word now that he is, in fact, getting credit for the goal. So McKenzie with the first one, R.J. Umberger the second. The goals come seconds apart, and the Jackets have stormed to a 2-0 lead. Harrison bounces one deep in Jackets territory. McKenzie is 5th and 3rd in as many games. Tooten and Trop drive the assists. Umberger's goal, assisted by Johansson and Foligno. And the goals come some 17 seconds apart. Here's Atkinson walking in, fires a shot. Hudobin the stop. You'll recall the last time in here, just before Christmas, why the Blue Jackets came from behind to defeat this Carolina Hockey Club. Johansson tied it late in the third, and then Skilling, coming off the bench, down the right wing, sent a bullet past Hudobin for what proved to be the game-winning goal. 4 minutes plus gone here tonight. Jackets 2, Carolina no score.
Well, you hear nothing right now from the fans, and that is exactly a great road start for the Columbus Blue Jackets. Now it's got to continue.
Derek McKenzie, I doubt very much if he had ever scored goals in 3 consecutive games in his career. Here we have the definitive look. It is the overhead right off the post, as I thought, and then the rebound sent home by McKenzie.
Well, you see Hudobin again. He looked, he heard it, and looked back behind him. By the time that happened, it had squirted out on that glove side towards the stick, and McKenzie finds the back of the net, which was wide open.
Hainsey as Carolina win the draw. John Michael Lyles moving up, acquired just before our last visit here from Toronto in a trade for the Maple Leafs. A former Leaf defenseman now caught out of position. Jackets move up ice on a 2-on-1. Umberger moves in. Johansson rightfully took the shot. Hudobin the stop. Jackets get it right back again, but Umberger unable to keep it in. Race for the puck now as Skinner pursues. R.J. Umberger on the reverse, approaching the 5-minute mark. Tremendous start for the Blue Jackets here. There's Anisimov, can't handle the pass, played there by Bowman. Quickly, Gerby. Bowman will sweep in. Manny Malhotra has really stepped up his game. Lots of praise from Coach Kirk Muller this morning. Up along the wall. That's good to see. A lot of folks question whether or not Malhotra would be able to come back from that serious eye injury. But he said, I'll go down to the minors, I'll prove myself, and then I'll be a member of this hockey club. And he certainly has fulfilled his promise. Just a reminder as you enjoy a cold one to look forward to Miller time later in tonight's contest. It's brought to you by Miller Lite.
Well, this morning I had a chance to talk with Kirk Muller as well, and one of the things that I asked him, you're going so well. what don't you like about your team? And he hemmed and he hawed and he said, you know what, I like our structure. Everything was positive, and that's the sign of a great coach. He'd like to be able to see that power play percentage increase, as would any coach, but he liked the structure. He gave the benefit of the doubt to the 9 new players that he has in this lineup. He says their work ethic is there. They're here every day. And right now, we're stable 5-on-5.
This is the 4th game in 6 nights for Carolina. They will play tomorrow. They're 5th and 7 in Montreal. Of course, the Jackets return home. Ottawa Senators now are comfortably in their hotel rooms, waiting for Jackets and the meeting tomorrow at Nationwide. Off the shoulder there of Hudobin. Terrific start here for the Jackets, who continue to press. 6+ minutes gone in this opening period. Calvert fights for position. The defender, Komisarek, has lost his stick. Hudobin out of the net. The puck played and a good hard hit there by Dubinsky. Canes get it out of the zone. Again, Komisarek unable to get to that bench, so that stick was broken. He was looking either to be replaced or pick up a new piece of lumber. He'll finally make his way out. As the long shot is played by Bobrovsky. And that's the first test that Bobrovsky has received.
That's what he wants early. Get him a couple of pucks. Get himself involved in the hockey game.
Falk. Pressure. Corey Trott. Working hard. This line, easily the Blue Jackets' best Saturday night against Buffalo. Jackets generated, or at least attempted, some 90-plus shots against Buffalo. Several were missed. A good number were blocked by the Sabres. And then the outstanding netminding, in particular, period number 3 by Ryan Miller. In fact, Coach Richard said this morning he really was not, other than being disappointed by the final result, not that displeased with his club's effort.
No, and you could hear the players this morning talking about it as well, how well they thought they played. When you get a hot goaltender and you're unable to get shots and pucks towards that goaltender as much as you like, well, that gives credit to the defensive side of things for Buffalo.
Murray with a clearing pass here for R.J. Umberger. He'll shovel it ahead. Umberger, with his goal tonight, now with 14 on the year. Jackets pressure deep in the zone. Foligno trying to backhand it ahead. Tulusky overskates the puck. Foligno now flipped to the corner. Johansson. Ryan Johansson walking out. Johansson to the point here for Wisniewski. Settles it down. On for Foligno. Wisniewski had a career, or one off his career best point scoring streak snapped on Saturday night. But still 8 points in the last 7 games for the Blue Jackets, and amongst the leading point getters among defensemen in the National Hockey League.
I thought they did a nice job with Savard out of the lineup. They only had 5 defensemen. They rotated well, and again, that's a good sign.
Savard not here again tonight, fighting the illness, giving an opportunity tonight for Cody Goluba to play his first game of the season. Left wing, swept in. Malhotra hot in pursuit. It's moved to the corner. Jackets now. Anisimov, right wing feed for Nathan Horton. Steps to center. Horton dishes onto Anisimov. Anisimov trying to walk in. Komisarek defends. Playing. Anisimov. Horton looks for some open ice. Jenner camped in front. Horton will play it off that backboard. Walks it out. Protects that puck. Hands it here to Boone Jenner. Horton in that high slot. Gets it up high. Horton with a wrist shot. It's blocked. Harrison stepping in front of it. Anisimov below the goal line. Rims it around the wall. Goluba right back to Anisimov. Cycling out of the corner. He'll toss it back here for Boone Jenner. Bowman in pursuit. Chasing as Jenner hands it to Horton, who cycles out. Back for Jenner. Intercepted by the Canes. And they dump it down. Well, again, we're going to go to something that Todd Richards has said to us repeatedly. And that is, you cannot judge a club's performance by the opening skate. And if these first 10 minutes, or almost 10 minutes, are any indication, Carolina were flying in the morning skate. But the Jackets have them back somewhat flat-footed. And they lead 2-0. First it was McKenzie, and then R.J. Umberger. 2-0 back here in Raleigh. Let's check out tonight's Elk and Elk injury report.
Well, the key with the injuries are the numbers. You look again at the Carolina Hurricanes, 227 man games lost. The Jackets not far behind. Then look at the bodies. Jared Boll put the skates on, skated a little bit the other day. Gaborik, he's out, handling the puck. And David Savard home with an illness. And on the other side of it, the big one right there is Cam Ward. Goaltender. They've got 3 guys here right now. Ward on the ice this morning, collecting a few pucks. With their schedule, they don't know when they're going to be able to get him back into the lineup.
Bobrovsky, left for Fedor-Tutin. Atkinson chips a backhand ahead. Dubinsky plays it back into his own zone. Johnson on for Atkinson. The puck sails off his stick. Hudobin below the goal line. Calvert coming quickly. Jackets attempt to play it deep as Gerby sends cross ice for Falk. Falk stepping in. Had it knocked away. Jackets now move up ice, and it's Atkinson reaching for it. Can't make the play. Hainsey walks into the zone. Drop pass there for Gerby. And a ricochets off a leg and wide. Semin lets one fly. Nice stop there by Bobrovsky. Those two will be teammates in the upcoming Olympics for Team Russia. Jackets played here by Dubinsky. Dubinsky with a backhand. Calvert racing into the zone. Lyles trying to hold him off. Both slip and fall. And Lyles will play. Crowd here looking for a penalty to be called. Turned over by Lyles. And it's ripped wide of the net by Jack Johnson. That is the Achilles heel of John Michael Lyles, who's certainly an offensive defenseman in his own right, but is guilty at times of turnovers, in particular at his own end. Played on that right wing. Thrown cross ice for Wisniewski. Less than 9 minutes remain. It's R.J. Umberger dumping it deep. Stahl, far side. Falk, the clearing pass. Hainsey steps up. On to Stahl across the line. He rips it off a stick and out of play. 8:44 left. Opening period. If you've joined us late, you missed a pair of goals 17 seconds apart by Columbus.
Blue Jacket Manny Malhotra, Kirk Muller on the side, on the right, and Jeff, you had talked about the relationship and Manny coming in here and doing what he was really asked to do, and basically it goes even beyond that. There was a friendship there before Manny ever come in here. Kirk Muller had Manny Malhotra stay with him in Dallas, when again Manny was still a young guy. He knew Manny. He knew the things that made him tick, and he felt with the specialization that he has in being able to be a face-off guy, strong development as far as a leader is concerned, he knew that he'd be able to come in here and do some things, but certainly has gone up and beyond as a third-line centerman.
Anisimov plays it off that backboard, looks in front. Jenner tried to get a stick on it. He was tied up there by Falk. Horton in the corner. So too, Jordan Stahl. Officials say move it along, and Horton does exactly just that. Squeezed out along the boards. Now Jenner walks from behind the net. Puck rolls off his stick. Skinner up with it, turns it over. Penalty upcoming here as play is called, and Carolina will go to the power play for the first time tonight.
Well, they're going to give a slashing call, and let's listen to it. That's Dan O'Halloran, and again, good work down below the goal line once again, and we talked about Boone Jenner in the opening, what he was able to do, and you can see right there, well, I don't know. Skinner went down pretty easily, and I thought that Horton just took away his space as he started to move up the ice. Any way you look at it, first power play by either team tonight.
Tied for 26th in power play efficiency are these Carolina Hurricanes. Skinner leads the way with 9 power play goals, and as we mentioned, Jackets had a shutout in the second meeting at Nationwide, but in the first game here, that come from behind victory we spoke of earlier, by 2 power play goals by Jeff Skinner, and he has to be the key. Sekera and Semin, similarly, 3 power play goals each. Jackets on the kill here in the month of January, or more specifically, the last 9 games. They have killed off 29 of 33 opposition power play.
There's a look at Sekera and what he's been able to do with this hockey team on that power play, and that's the one thing that Kirk Muller talked about this morning. He'd like to be able to see some better numbers. This guy was the NHL's 3rd star of the week last week, has put up his best numbers of his entire career after coming over from the Buffalo Sabres. He was showing his offensive worth.
We're talking to Jimmy Rutherford at the airport after the draft in New Jersey. We were headed to a similar gate, the same area, and he was just tickled pink to be able to get Sekera away from Buffalo. And a trade that saw McBain, among others, head the other way. And he felt by far he got the best of the deal. And certainly, Sekera has come in here and played superbly for this hockey club. 7 minutes and 20 seconds remain. A little more than a minute on this power play. Rifled around the boards, waiting for it here along the left. Eric Staal. Jackets clear. Moving up. Dubinsky short-handed. He looked top shelf on that stick side. Did not miss by much. Anisimov and Dubinsky continue aggressively pursuing that puck while short-handed. Great work here by Dubinsky. Dubinsky loves playing against the East. He continues at better than a point per game clip and even better within the division. Dubinsky in 20 division games with 23 points. 8 of them are goals. 6 minutes and 30 seconds remain. You see the time remaining on the power play at less than 30. Out of the corner. Semen's shot is blocked. Picked up here by Gerby. Moving in. There's Sekera with a shot off the shoulder of Bobrovsky. Jackets hammer it off the wall and down. And that should do pretty well the Horton penalty. Nathan Horton is standing now at the penalty bench. And moments away from returning to the ice is Sekera. Steps to center. Dumps in. Behind the net, Bobrovsky able to trap it. Horton back on. Jackets continue their impressive penalty killing. And in fact, perhaps had the better of the scoring opportunities. R.J. Umberger with the second of the 2 first period goals. Johansson reaching for it. Umberger behind the net. Throws it in front. Quick shot there by Johansson, knocking the stick out of the hands of Falk. Umberger certainly has elevated his game here of late. R.J. Umberger perhaps playing his best games that we've seen him play in the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, when he gets his legs going, you know he's going to be involved in every shift. And tonight, well, that's one of those nights.
There's a long shot, stick save, played by Nikitin. Far side settled down by Golubov. Loose puck picked up. Far side. Sent towards the net. Ricochets in front. Bobrovsky alertly down and will cover up with 5:09 left. Jackets 2. Carolina, no score here in Raleigh.
2-0 Jackets here in Raleigh. And Jeff Rimmer, you are 100% correct. Derek McKenzie has never scored 3 goals in his career. Did some quick research on that. In fact, it took him 64 NHL games to get his first 3 NHL goals. Now he's got 3 in the last 3 games. That's not a bad pace. How many behind Sidney Crosby or Ryan Johansson? How much further has he got to go? This guy's on a tear right now, guys.
He really is, and it's good to see. And like I say, that's where Todd Richards, Como was ready to go tonight. He's going to keep that line together and keep it the same until something happens.
Less than 5 minutes left. Opening period. Nikitin sends it ahead off the stick there of Bowman. Dubinsky shovels to Matt Calvert. Jackets would like to see a little more from Matt Calvert here. And Atkinson, for that matter.
Yeah, both of them need to pick it up just a little bit. Again, they're being very aggressive, but I know all 3 of them, the entire line, would like to be able to do that. The Columbus Blue Jackets hockey is brought to you by Nationwide Insurance, the official insurance provider of your Columbus Blue Jackets. And remember, Nationwide is on your side. There's a look at Cam Atkinson. Brother Scott in the building tonight. Goes to school over here at High Point University. He and a pile of buddies have got Blue Jacket apparel on someplace within the confines of PNC.
Bobrovsky left there for Nikitin. Matt Calvert chips a backhand ahead there for Artem Anisimov. Bounces away from him. Behind the net. Good hit there on Toulousny by Golubov. Calvert reaching for it. Swept by Nikitin off the stick to the oncoming Carolina Hurricane. Backhand attempt there by Staal. Denied. Eric Staal and Nathan Horton out of the same draft. In fact, they were drafted back-to-back. 2 outstanding talents, and it was quite a debate. Which would be the better player? I think they both had outstanding careers.
I don't think there's any question.
Skinner, top of the circle, fakes the shot. Tries to send it towards the net. Jack Johnson is there. Very little caretaking behind the bench. Now shovels a backhand for Horton in full flight. Here comes Jenner. Jenner across the wing, trying to stick handle away. And Lyles defending will play it high off the glass. Less than 3.5 left.
Real smart play there by Jenner. At the end of the shift, comes in, tries to make something happen. What's he do as soon as that puck goes off of his stick? Heads right to the bench.
Jackets doing a great job defensively in their own zone. Now Jordan Staal pressuring. Jackets get it ahead here to Corey Trop. Trop now trying to walk away from Ron Hainsey. Rims it around the boards. McKenzie up on that far side. Derek McKenzie. Staal able to steal. On to Hainsey. Hainsey steps to center. The one-time Blue Jacket will dump in and then race off to the bench with less than 3 minutes left here in a fast-moving opening period. Jackets McKenzie alertly finds Trop. Trop with a backhand will send it the rest of the way. Khudobin teeing it up for his defenseman Harrison.
Another good thing in period number 1, Jeff. The way they're coming out of their zone, they're doing it with speed. The passes are a little sharper than they were the other night, and you can see the success.
Sounds like Kirk Muller had a pretty good scouting report on the Blue Jackets that he shared with us prior to the game. The Jackets certainly making the best of their scoring chances in the opening few minutes. Long lead pass. Radek Dvorak in pursuit. Finishes a check there on James Wisniewski. Ryan Murray for Johansson. He'll flip it deep into the zone. Falk backpedals. Steps away from Foligno. Gets it out of the zone. Semin now from center. Semin. Across the line in a centering feed. The Jackets intercept that and move up ice. Calvert with Dubinsky. Calvert tried to walk around the defenseman. Falk and was poke-checked away. Lead pass in neutral ice. Knocked away from the oncoming forward Tulusky. Bouncing puck played by Semin. Tosses it back. Hainsey can't make the play. Calvert tried to sweep it by him. Hainsey got just enough of it to prevent that scoring chance. Jackets settle it down. Puck bouncing here late in the period. Dubinsky with a drop pass. He turns it over. And it's backhanded by Malhotra. On for Hainsey, who steps up. The rushing defenseman attempted a shot that was blocked. Jackets able to clear. Lyles and Hainsey. Two guys that like to run.
They do. Well, they get it up and they can get it going. Hainsey's got the long stride. You have Lyles that can move east, west, north, south. And as you mentioned, you have to keep the head up. That first pass is so important for those two.
1 minute remaining in the first period. Left wing. Less than a minute to go. Jenner. Horton deep on the forecheck. Lyles will toss far side. It's backhanded there by Harrison. Kings look to Gerby. Through and across the line. Gerby now pulls up on that half wall. Waits for reinforcements and then dumps it off behind the net. Stahl. In front. Denied. Stahl with a great pass to Komisarek. Pinching in. Bobrovsky, the last line of defense, right there and holds on.
Well, this is where the Jackets, again, you look at that clock management. You're less than a minute. And again, they've got control in that offensive zone. Look over your shoulder. You've got to watch. And look at where Wisniewski, he's looking. Anisimov, the same thing. And Komisarek, he comes in from that right point position. And he's left all alone. Boy, that defensive zone coverage for the first time in period number 1 breaks down.
Shots are even at 7. Blue Jackets lead here in these now final 30 seconds. Wisniewski off the boards. Played there by Letestu. Sends it right in on Khudobin, who steers to the corner. Sekera. Sends to the Jackets line. Ryan Murray. Ahead here for R.J. Umberger off his skate. Sekera will play it right in front of his own net. Ryan Johansson causing the turnover. Umberger had it briefly. It's sent to center. Long shot there by Skinner as the horn goes to end an opening period. Derek McKenzie picking up a rebound off the inside of the goalpost to tuck it home for his 5th of the season. And for the 3rd straight game, he has found the back of the net. Then, just 17 seconds later, R.J. Umberger with his 14th from Johansson and Foligno. After 20 minutes of play here in Raleigh, the Blue Jackets lead the Hurricanes 2-0. Buy Ticketmaster. Score. Get the only NHL tickets sold by fans and verified by Ticketmaster. It's all hockey, no hassle right now at NHL.com/ticket exchange. Teams have returned to the ice. Moments away from the start of the period. Number 2, our IGS Energy performers, McKenzie and Umberger, our 2 goal scorers.
What a job. Again, they get started 17 seconds apart. That's the key, Jeff.
Well, today in Ottawa, prior to the team's departure for Columbus, the media asked Paul McLean, head coach, about the Blue Jackets, and he started his commentary about this guy. I've watched 7 to 10 games. I've watched highlights. They've got him back healthy. He has been filling the net. He's been scoring, it seems, every night. I think the culture change they made last year with the trading of Rick Nash and other pieces has helped the team. The arrival of Dubinsky and Anisimov. Jack Johnson and Wisniewski stepping up their game. And Sergei Bobrovsky in the nets. They're a very good hockey team that plays hard, plays with speed, plays physically, and it's a credit to them. So obviously a little more scouting prior to tomorrow night's start. The Senators are now in Columbus and will be at Nationwide in what is a huge game, in the words of the Senators, knowing how they want to climb back into the playoff race as well. It's not only the Metropolitan Division, but as well the wild card for the teams that have the best record, the two teams following the top three seedings in both the Atlantic and Metropolitan Division.
Well, it's a great compliment to the Jackets.
Here is Umberger in off the wing. Hudobin looked behind him. The short-side attempt there fails.
We have McLean talking about players, and you've got Kirk Muller talked about the entire team this morning. That's about as much respect as you're going to get.
Well, the Jackets are getting that attention across the National Hockey League with their recent play. But behind the net here right now, the puck played by Sekera. Moved up off his skate, bouncing puck played again by Sekera as he attempts to clear. Up on that right wing, it's sent to center, and Tootin for the Blue Jackets now. A lead pass there. Falk is able to pick it off and dump it deep.
They are on the puck. Every line coming out is on top of the puck right away. That line with Johansson, Umberger, they have been outstanding.
Semet, left wing, top of the circle, lets one fly, and it's deflected off the backboard. Jackets look for Boone Jenner. A more concentrated effort here in the opening minutes of the second period by Carolina. Anisimov darts through and across the line. Squeezed out along the wall. Jenner there. Hudobin sends it to the corner. Horton quickly on that puck. Sends it up high. Murray on for Wisniewski. Back to Murray. Murray lets one fly. Eric Stahl got a stick on it. It sails over top of the net. Chopped to the corner. Taluski will attempt to play and sends it out of the zone. Eric Stahl, captain of the Kings. Murray steals it from him. Again, Ryan Murray, who we highlighted prior to the start of the game, continues his impressive play. And tomorrow night, Hall of Fame defenseman Dennis Potvin will be in the building. And, of course, now a broadcaster with Ottawa talking in terms of Ryan Murray and just how difficult it is to play as a 20-year-old. High praise for Murray. Last time the Senators and the Blue Jackets hooked up. 2.5 minutes in. Puck carried across the line. Backhanded and down Bobrovsky in the paint, and he will cover up.
The fans, text the keyword NET to 90561 right now to enter the Blue Jackets Florida Flyaway Contest. You could win a Florida getaway and get a chance to see the Blue Jackets take on the Tampa Bay Lightning in Tampa, Florida in April. Again, tonight's keyword is NET. Grab your phone right now, text it to 90561 for your chance to win.
Derek McKenzie set for this faceoff. And from the draw, a quick attempt there. Bobrovsky coming over and making the stop off the stick of Harrison.
And that's exactly what Bobrovsky wants. Again, he's the first to admit the other night against Buffalo was not sharp. He had a chance to sit and watch for the remainder of that hockey game after it was a 3-1 game. And right now, you can see him being able to get in, come out, challenge the shooter. That's what you want early.
Tuomo Ruutu cycles out of the corner. His game has elevated after a face-to-face conversation with general manager Jim Rutherford. In fact, they played his best game, in the words of Kirk Muller, the other night in what was a 6-3 win over those same Ottawa Senators. Senators played an afternoon game here that began at noon on Saturday, then hustled back. The game was originally scheduled for Friday night, but what with the cancellation earlier on in the week in Philadelphia, in a game between Carolina and the Flyers, why that game was moved up to an afternoon affair.
Well, I want you to take a look right now at Sergei Bobrovsky in the net. How many times have we seen in the last week or so shots going off of the backboard and then up and over top of the net? What does Bobrovsky do? Stands up, takes care of everything so that his back and the top post is flush. Can't tell me these guys don't watch a lot of hockey, because they do. One thing to play it. These guys are also students of the game.
Not to mention the fact that when they have those morning skates, they'll check out the nuances and just see how lively those backboards are. The glass That's the whole purpose of getting an opportunity to play, or at least practice before they play at night. Hamburger sends it into the zone. We have certainly seen on that occasion this season some lively board activity. Not to mention what happened 10 days ago in Detroit off the black netting. The puck bounced off the netting, came right back off the back of Quick, and found its way to the back of the net. Easy remedy to that. Change the black netting in Detroit to white netting and you won't have that problem. There's Foligno.
The fans aren't happy.
I would think it'd be easier to see through white netting than black netting, but Jackets. Foligno dump. Gets back up. Jack Johnson defends. Loose puck. Played here by Tooten. Jack Johnson, right wing feed for Foligno. Horton, head here for Johansson. He'll dump in and then head off to the bench. Horton similarly heads off. Jackets keeping those shifts short. Right back at it tomorrow night in Columbus after the return flight tonight. Ottawa Senators at Nationwide. Hope to see you there. If not, we've got the game for you right here on Fox Sports Ohio. Artem Anisimov, left wing. Long lead pass there to the right side for Corey Tropp that fails. Bowman circles in his own zone. Darts down the right side. Anisimov steps up. It's swept ahead by Gerby, wide of the net. Wisniewski off the wall. Corey Tropp hands it ahead here for Boone Jenner. Jenner taken wide by Lyles. Fights Lyles off. Some help there from Corey Tropp, who remains in the lineup based on his performance here over the last few games. Jenner trying to walk to the net. Boone Jenner scored the game-winning goal in the game in Columbus, the second of the two meetings between these two teams. Right wing, Bowman at center. Carried in, here's Malhotra, denied. Out, cutting down the angle, and handing on to that initial shot was Sergei Bobrovsky.
Well, again, Manny Malhotra gets a chance to get in, and he utilizes a little bit of speed. And again, we just talked about Manny. His ability to come back after this eye injury is showing leadership. He's put up some numbers, a couple of goals the other night. Tonight, well, he's in the face-off department. He is winning his ways once again.
Komisarek with a shot that's deflected wide. Dubinsky will play it off the wall. Atkinson. Dubinsky. Matt Calvert racing down that right side. Komisarek defends. There's a shot high and wide of the net. Dubinsky chops it towards the Carolina net. Canes move out of the zone. Nikitin with a hit here along the right wing boards on Radek Dvorak. Bouncing puck. Makes its way to the front of the net. Dubinsky walks it to the line. Dishes to the right side. Atkinson in full flight. Calvert moving to the front of the net. Tripped up there. Goes crashing into Hudobin. No call. Crowd looking for perhaps a goaltending interference penalty on Calvert, who definitely was tripped up by the Colorado defender. Shot from a sharp angle. Sent off the side of the net. Off the pad, Bobrovsky will hold on as Skinner took that no-look shot. Spun around, turned, fired, but Bobrovsky was there.
Well, Jack Johnson on the left, Mike Komisarek on the right. What do they have in common? Well, they are graduates, or basically attended. They did not graduate. They attended the University of Michigan. Red Berenson has to be certainly pretty proud. In Komisarek's era, he was voted as the CCHA's best defensive defenseman. Jack Johnson, during his era, back in 07, was the CCHA offensive defenseman. And what a pair of bookends they've produced at Michigan. They put up some big numbers and certainly are NHL stars today.
Knocked down with a high stick. That goal would not have counted had it eluded Bobrovsky and got behind the net. An official in the corner had his hand in the air ready to blow the whistle, but after the puck was knocked down by the Carolina player with a high stick, it was played by the Blue Jackets, so play allowed to continue. And here now, it's hammered in to Jackets territory. Jack Johnson takes a hit along the boards. Scramble in front. Stahl sends it back up high. Sekera lets one fly. Jackets block that, and it's sent down the ice.
Boy, there were some layers there. McKenzie going one way. Letestu, he was there, and Tropp, he took the brunt of it.
Oh, did he take that shot out?
Oh, baby.
The inside on the left.
But That's what you like to see. Guys going up and beyond. And you can see if Carolina get in on top of the forecheck, they take the body. And the big Jordan Staal, he had the stick inside on Jack Johnson. They get it out high, and here where it all begins. Beautiful job by that fourth line. We've talked about their offensive prowess, but how about here, layering up and blocking shots in their own zone?
I'll tell you what, Jordan Staal got away with one as he threw Jack Johnson down. I thought that was pretty close to being, if not, totally being a slew foot here. And we're going to get a look at one more replay there. But Jack Johnson was hammered hard to the ice. Certainly was worthy of a penalty there.
Well, let's take a look as they do go in. Take a look at the legs.
Oh, yeah, he got the leg in there. Briefly.
Yeah, just briefly, enough to knock off the balance. Not malicious, but certainly could have been a minor penalty.
Letestu chase from the circle. Derek McKenzie will step in. You joined us here in the second period. 2 goals, 17 seconds apart in the first at 2:25 and 2:42 by McKenzie and Umberger, respectively. For McKenzie, he's now riding a career-best 3-game goal-scoring streak. And again, Bobrovsky on the edge of the blue paint will hold on.
Well, Jackets fans, get down to the R-Bar in the Arena District this Saturday at 6 to test your Blue Jackets knowledge and get a chance to win some great prizes. Plus, you could be featured on Blue Jackets Live after an upcoming game on Fox Sports Ohio. So be part of the fun at the R-Bar. That's Saturday at 6.
Fedor Tyutin, who picked up the primary assist on the first goal tonight, the McKenzie goal. His initial shot went right off the inside of the goalpost and was quickly swept back behind Hudobin for the first goal of the game. Bobrovsky out of the net, shovels to that right wing. Jackets, Nick Foligno steps in, walks around the defenseman Lyles, and Hudobin got just enough of it with the blocker to send it to the corner. Foligno in front, Johansson rips it wide. Scramble in front, it's off the crossbar. Nick Foligno looks to the heavens, what do I have to do to get a goal? Foligno talking on the plane trip. Had a chance to visit with him, and he said, what have I got to do to score a goal? And there, he sent it right off the crossbar.
Just keep doing what he's doing, because that work ethic comes first. Everything else will follow.
Bouncing puck sent towards the net. Manny Malhotra up with it for Carolina. And he's able to dump it into Jackets territory.
Well, let's go ahead and take a look at that offensive zone play. And it started with Foligno matched up against John Michael Lyles. Watch the hands of Foligno right here. A little toe drag, back to himself. It goes wide, but it doesn't stop there. They continue to get the puck towards the net. Foligno once again. Now watch it right here. Gets it right off top of the crossbar. What a play.
Watch his reaction after the shot.
Oh, I know.
He is desperate to get a goal there and can't believe that he hit the pipe on that one.
That's where you just pat him on the back and say, you keep going, kid.
Boone Jenner backhands deep into the zone. Jenner now keeps the feet moving. Thomas Sarek knocks it away. Tossed behind the net here. Harrison will backhand ahead. Nikitin steps up. He's backed up by Anisimov. Good teamwork there. Jenner out of the corner. Horton waiting, poised and ready in the slot at the top of the circle. Kind of motioning for Jenner to give him the puck. Now he'll go after it himself. Now Jenner's on it. Boone Jenner. Anisimov. Anissimov's backhander kept in by Nikitin. Spins, turns, rebound. Horton was tied up in front. Hudobin made the save. Jackets unable to get to the rebound. Nikitin drills it off that backboard. Here's Horton looking to walk out. Horton back for Nikitin. Out of the zone and a break here on the wing. This is the guy you don't want to give the opportunity to. Skinner and Bobrovsky down. He'll get the mid on it and hold on.
Well, a nice job there as well. Skinner curls up and Golubov in a great position. Before the Jackets hit the ice, get ready to join the battle on Blue Jackets Live on Fox Sports Ohio. Blue Jackets Live is brought to you by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers. Let's go places.
From the faceoff. Rimmed around the wall there for Cam Atkinson. Atkinson steps away from Tuomo Ruutu. Dubinsky clears the zone. Tyutin jumps up in the play. Knocked away from him. Race for the puck here on the near side. And again, it's Ruutu. 10:20 left. Second period. Dubinsky finishing a check there on Sekera. Right wing feed, Dvorak denied. Big rebound picked up here by Dubinsky.
Like it just handcuffed Bobrovsky.
Dubinsky had it knocked away. Now he'll drop in front of Ruutu. And the Jackets send it into Carolina territory. Falk hands it back to Dubinsky. Jack Johnson. On here for Tootin. Atkinson shovels a backhand for Matt Calvert. Calvert dumps in. He and Atkinson head off. Letestu camped in front of Hudobin. Pressures now Sekera. Far side of the ice. A clearing pass thrown up the middle looking for Dvorak. It sails the length of the ice. It is icing.
Well, the Jackets are back home, Nationwide Arena tomorrow, Tuesday, January 28th. They'll take on the Ottawa Senators, 7 o'clock game, and then face the Washington Capitals on Thursday the 30th. That also at 7. Get your tickets now at BlueJackets.com or via Blue Jackets mobile app. Good look at Mark Letestu. Chatted briefly with him. I said, game day, do you nap? Well, if I'm at home, I'm playing ball hockey with my kid. On the road, I sit back and relax. One of the few that does not.
He was on the bus 45 minutes before we departed from the hotel for the game here tonight. Focused and ready to go. 8 points in his last 8 games. 5 of them are goals. He was on that bus a good half hour before any one of his teammates.
Tell you what, he is a real pro. And he can thank a lot to Todd Richards. We got him as a young player coming out of college, and Todd told him and showed him the ways of how to do it. And, you know, it's one thing to tell him. It's another thing to do it.
Here's Johansson on the turnover kick. Save the right pad of Hudobin. That was when both were in the Penguins system at Wilkes-Barre. And it was basically a very candid conversation. You want to be a pro player? You've got to do this, this, and this. And he is certainly a different player here, and one of the favorites, and rightfully so, the Blue Jacket fans for his hard work. Foligno steps to center. Puck dumped in. Who's there? Letestu. Pressure on Harrison. The energy line. Funny, prior to the Buffalo game, Coach Richards talked about 3 lines that he could count on to score, and yet it was the 4th line not only providing the energy, but the 2 goals. They too can contribute.
The nightly on Fox Sports Live, Jay Onright and Dan O'Toole bring you all the scores, the news, the highlights, all that you need. Don't miss Fox Sports Live. That's nightly at 11 on Fox Sports 1. And to find Fox Sports 1 on your provider, go to foxsports1.com right now.
Artem Anisimov and Manny Malhotra, who cleanly wins the draw. Malhotra certainly one of the premier face-off men in the National Hockey League. And that is a dimension that Coach Muller really depends on from his centerman, Malhotra. Jackets, Jenner, knocking the Carolina defenseman, Hainsey off the puck. Nikitin to center. Jenner dumps in. Anisimov in the corner. Horton cruising to the front of the net. Anisimov trying to walk out. Puck played by Ron Hainsey on the left wing. Jackets keep it in. Quick shot there by Anisimov from the right wing board. Hudobin had that.
A good shift there by Anisimov. Boy, the big man continues to plow his way and playing with some intensity and the want to get to the net.
All rights to this broadcast are reserved, and any rebroadcast, recording, retransmission, or other use of the broadcast without the express written consent of the Columbus Blue Jackets is expressly prohibited. Big week for the Jackets at home. As we mentioned, Ottawa tomorrow night. Washington come back. They ended their 5-game losing streak with a 5-0 win in Montreal Saturday night. They'll be there Thursday evening. And then the Florida Panthers. First matchup against the Blue Jackets on Saturday. The Blue Jackets then head west before the Olympic break with stops in Anaheim, Los Angeles, and San Jose. 2-0 here.
Jackets continue to lead here in Raleigh. You may have seen shots on goal up there on the scoreboard. Only 14 for the Blue Jackets through this part of the second period. A little misleading, though. You know, they had a bunch of shots against Buffalo, a bunch of missed shots, a bunch of blocked shots, and couldn't get the win against Buffalo tonight. They've got the lead. Another thing to look at is hits, guys. Right now, Carolina out hitting the Blue Jackets, but you know what that means? That means the Blue Jackets have the puck more often, so that can be misleading as well.
That's good, Dave. Again, for the fans at home, those two statistics certainly stand out. And tonight's a great example of them.
Matt Calvert throws it in front. Tootin, top of the circle, rips it wide. Hudobin way out of the net. As Tootin looked for that stick side. Matt Calvert knocked to the ice in front of the Columbus bench. Here's Atkinson on the turnover. Moves in, and he rips it wide. Calvert trying to get a stick on it. Played by Sekera. Marching out of their own zone. Jordan Staal centers, quick shot, pad save, and neatly taken away with a rebound by Dubinsky.
Cleaning up the house, Dubinsky. Nice job in helping out his defensive core.
John Michael Lyle rips it in, high off the glass, far side of the ice. Romo Rutu out there with Radek Dvorak. Riley Nash waits, the right-handed shot up high. Jack Johnson knocking down Dvorak. Thrown behind the net. Jackets can't get a stick on it. Matt Calvert will come back to help out. Sends it up, but not out. There's an attempt that sails wide off the stick of Lyles. Umberger now will clear it. Lyles plays in his own blue line. 5:48 left.
Oh, boy. They got it.
Bobrovsky left for Jack Johnson. R.J. Umberger. Umberger thrown to the ice there by Rutu. Reaching forward is Komisarek. Puck picked up. Foligno across the line. He is goalless in 6. What would you call it, a slump? But as far as Foligno is concerned, he wants back on that score sheet. Komisarek with a couple of slaps there, then an elbow at Foligno. Again, the officials right there. Turning off the goal post. The outside of the post. Johansson.
It's a couple this period. Foligno, Johansson.
Carried in. Eric Staal knocked off his stop. Corey Trapp dumps in. Harrison defending. Trapp trying to fight through. Komisarek camped in front of the net. The outlet pass on the right wing too far for 70. Reach for it. Jackets fire right back in. Ryan Murray dumps. Hustling here is Trapp. Trapp out there with McKenzie. Fires a shot. It was blocked in front of Hudobin. Chopped ahead but not out. Wisniewski able to save it. McKenzie. Wisniewski back to McKenzie. Rims it around the boards. Letestu. On to Corey Trapp. Another great shift here by the fourth line. Walking out of the zone now. Jackets defend. Wisniewski steps up. All over Gerby. They're going to call a penalty. I don't believe it. O'Halloran makes the call after these officials have let quite a bit go. As we go to break, this one right off that goalpost. Second power upcoming. Second power play upcoming here for Carolina. A hooking call at 15:39. James Wisniewski.
Yeah, let's let the fans at home decide whether that's a penalty or not. You square up. You try to, again, impede the progress in a straight line. Pretty well a straight line. Kirby keeps the legs going. And that's one man's opinion, but the guy with the stripes, he wins it. It's a minor penalty.
Lyles, one-timer there. Bobrovsky right off the stick of Skinner. Holds on.
Well, join the Blue Jackets and over 35 other professional sports teams and businesses at Nationwide Arena tomorrow, Tuesday, the 28th, for the Blue Jackets Career Fair. Registration is $26 in advance and includes a ticket to the Jackets game that night versus the Ottawa Senators. Visit bluejackets.com/careerfair 2014 for more information.
4 minutes, 12 seconds remain. Skinner throws it back to the point. Top of the circle on the opposite side. The right-handed shot on there for Skinner. And look at Bobrovsky move laterally. Grabs that puck and is able to hold on, squeezing tight.
Well, the power play starts, and it's a face-off loss. And you can see, again, Skinner, he'll get himself into position on that right wall as a left-handed shot. Now watch Bobrovsky move from his left to right, slides across, shoulders are square. That was the key. And he's able to covet that rebound.
Lyles for Carolina. Right wing feed. Hammered in. Far side Semin. Plays it off the wall. Semin walks in front. Nice pretty play there. Spun around and turned. Semin riding a red-hot 5-game point scoring streak. 6 goals for Semin. And look at the stop there by Bobrovsky. Tell you what about Semin, though. He had a face-to-face conversation recently here with Jim Rutherford, the general manager. A lot was said about the fact that he was struggling, and they expected more. They gave him the long-term contract. We recall last season he played under a one-year deal. Former Washington Capital got an extension and a lengthy contract, was not performing well. And since that conversation has really stepped up. Meantime, shorthanded Letestu tried to roof a backhand, and he sends it high over top of the net and off the netting and out of play.
Well, in the defensive zone, Carolina has dominated the last 3 faceoffs. But the work by the penalty killers, and you watch right there, good anticipation by Derek McKenzie, and then heads up, just lays that puck into space, and then Letestu pulls it to the backhand, tries to get it high over top of that stick of goaltender Khudobin, but unable to do so.
3 minutes, 18 seconds left. Lead pass at center. Carried in here by the Hurricanes. Drop back to the point. Falk. Far side. Sekera lets one fly, and that goes off the shoulder of Sergei Bobrovsky. Going back up high. Left point, Sekera. He'll drill it. This time gloved, and the rebound left right there, but swept wide. Falk with a shot. That one is blocked by Bobrovsky. This has been the most sustained action of any time in this hockey game from a Carolina perspective. Set in front off a skate and the stick, and the Jackets are able to clear. Seconds remain in the Wisniewski penalty.
Well, they had net front presence with big bodies and good hands, and that's where you can credit Carolina Hurricanes in that last power play.
Radek Dvorak on here for Riley Nash. Rimmed around the wall, outsteps Wisniewski. Jackets 2 for 2 in the kill. They've now killed off 31 of the last 37 opposition power plays here. McKeep hands it to Ryan Johansson. His pass a little too far for Wisniewski, who recovers and knocks down the Komisarek attempt. 7 shots on that power play by our calculations. And again, that was the most sustained action we have seen from Carolina all night long. In that first power play, Jackets had actually the better scoring chance with Dubinsky and Anisimov's fine work. Komisarek throws it to the front of the net, backhanded, and it goes off the arm of Bobrovsky.
Now, Ruutu, good, just turned and fired, and Bobrovsky in great position.
90 seconds left. Columbus 2, Carolina no score. R.J. Umberger drops a pass here for Horton. Tries to squeeze out along the wall, keeps it away from Eric Stahl, moves in, looks for that pass that was knocked down by the Carolina defender. Semin now. Power against power, top lines for the respective teams. Semin had it roll off his stick. Horton defending. And Bobrovsky will sweep to the corner. Jack Johnson. 1 minute left.
1 minute remaining of the second period.
A scoreless second after the Jackets scored a pair of goals early in the first. Much better period for Carolina. 7 shots in the opening period. They have a total now of 24 with 46.7 seconds remaining. The Jackets, a similar number to the first period, was 7.
Well, text the keyword NET to 90561 right now to enter Blue Jackets Florida Flyway Contest. You could win a Florida getaway and get a chance to see the Blue Jackets take on the Tampa Bay Lightning in Tampa, Florida in April. Again, tonight's keyword is NET. Grab your phone right now, text it to 90561 for your chance to win.
Jordan Stahl dumps into the Jackets end. Wisniewski quick to clear. Matt Calvert from outside the line fires in on Khudobin, and Khudobin will hold on.
Here's a look at Matt Calvert. The other night had a few attempts in and around that crease, but again, his offensive production, it is off a little bit. But that line continues to banter. They get in, they're talking, they're chatting, all led by their centerman and Brandon Dubinsky. They want the best each time they're on the ice.
Ryan Murray shot directed at Khudobin. Cleared to center. Wisniewski out muscling Stahl. Now Calvert walks in. Calvert trying to walk around the defenseman. Finishing the check there in the corner. Played ahead and out. Jordan Stahl leaving it. Stepping up across the line. A pass on the wing. The give and go. And Atkinson there defending. Puck gets away from Lindholm. Calvert looks up at the clock briefly. Dubinsky steps over the line. It'll be a delayed offside, but that'll do it here. Second period will come to an end. 17 shots for Carolina, and a majority of them on the power play just concluded. For the Jackets, 7, a two-period total of 14. No scoring in the second. After 40 minutes of play here in Raleigh, the Jackets lead 2-0. Period play. Jackets outshot in that second. They'll have to pick it up a little bit. 17-7. Number of shots certainly on the power play. They protect a 2-0 lead. 2 goals scored. 17 seconds apart early in period number 1. Fedor-Tutin, pressure, quickly, hands to Jack Johnson. Right wing Umberger, stepping up is Sekera. Sekera looking to send it ahead. Puck along the wall, Lindholm, and drilled in by Jeff Skinner. R.J. Umberger battles along the near boards. Foligno had it briefly. Johansson sweeps ahead. Foligno settles down that bouncing puck. Nick Foligno circling the net. Falk defends. Thrown back behind here for Ryan Johansson. Johansson with a crossbar here tonight. Foligno hitting the crossbar. Here's Horton. Walking out. Horton looks, fires. Hudobin stacking the pads and gets a piece of it. Hudobin hustles back into the net. Jackets get it right back. Boone Jenner. Jenner gets it up high over the stick there of Brian Murray. Ryan Murray now ahead there. And it goes off Boone Jenner. And watch Horton and Jenner work their magic deep in the zone. Ryan Murray just missing that puck.
Well, this is where, again, they begin to work below that goal line. You look at Jenner. He takes the defenseman across as Falk follows him. And then Horton pulls out and tries to uplift that shot over top of sprawling Hudobin. They are working well together. That line starting to get some opportunities. Now they ought to be able to find the back of the net.
Elias Sekera may have actually blocked that shot. Getting a look at the rebound. Jackets able to deposit it home. And now Carolina deep in the zone. Jenner, right wing feed. Horton racing after it. Tips it ahead. Horton now on that wing. John Michael Lyles deals to the far side. Ron Hainsey. Here comes Talusti across the line. Jackets defend. Matt Calvert had it briefly. Talusti reaching for it again. Shovels it free for Eric Stahl. Off the skate there of Golubov. Loose puck in front. There's a shot. It's blocked by the Jackets. Matt Calvert, who tries to cover up. Talusti comes out of the pack. Crowd looking for a penalty to be called. But Calvert did not put his hand on that hockey puck when he dropped to protect it. First blocking it, then tried to cover it up. Calvert in front of the Carolina bench. Manny Malhotra waits on that left wing. Malhotra across the line, trying to make a play there is Bowman. Malhotra chips it, and this is Golubov. Jackets up but not out. Komisarek drills it wide of the net. Harrison off the point. Harrison in deep. Throws it behind that net. Looking there for Malhotra. Harrison floats one in. Stick to side by Bobrovsky. 2+ minutes gone here in the third.
Well, right now it's been all Carolina to start period number 3. Jackets have to get on the high horse. Where does it start? How about the fourth line?
Derek McKenzie sweeps to the corner. There's Malhotra. Knocked briefly off the puck by Lechesky. Jackets keep it in. Corey Trapp hustling. Long shift for Malhotra. Looking to get off as the Jackets keep Carolina hemmed in their own zone. Corey Trapp trying to fish that puck free. Komisarek looking to freeze it along the wall. Malhotra finally gets the rest. There's Trapp. Dvorak defends. Into the slot. Foligno backhands for Jack Johnson. Traffic in front. That was Lechesky camped in front of Hudobin. Knocked down was dropped by Dvorak. Foligno to the point. Corey Trapp unable to play that puck. Dvorak does. It's moved up and out by Riley Nash. Jackets trying to catch Carolina. Line change brought in here by Jack Johnson. Johnson into the slot. Foligno turns, gets it up high. Johansson tried to feed it ahead to R.J. Umberger, but breaking down that right wing. Long shot there by Ruutu. Sails wide of the net. Hustling here in the near corner. Tossed behind the net, looking for the centering feed for Ruutu. Johansson goes to the corner with the Carolina forward. Nash is there. Ruutu keeps the feet moving. Cycles out. Sends it to the point. Falk with a shot. The Jackets block that. Foligno. Long shift for him. He'll step to center. In over the blue line. Backhands for Johansson. Picked off by Sekera, who steps to center. Foligno knocks it away. Sekera gets it right back. Keeps the feet moving. Throws it in front. Down is Bobrovsky. And there's no further play. How about a look at the AEP power play summary? The Jackets have not had a power play opportunity, but they have killed off the 2 Carolina chances. 7 of those 8 shots came on the second of the 2 power plays tonight for Carolina.
Well, that's a discrepancy when you look at shots. But Todd Richards, again, has to be happy with the overall structure of this team. They've got to continue to work. That's the real key right now, and good puck management, especially at their defensive blue line.
Trelowski leaving it in the corner, looking to walk out. Bobrovsky hugging that far post in front. Ron Hainsey in off the point. Eric Staal slow to get up as the Jackets move up ice. That's Boone Jenner. Jenner fights through the check of Trelowski, is hauled down. I can't believe it. If that wasn't a hook.
It's a perfect game, Jeff.
Eric Staal knocked away. Jenner. Boone Jenner down that right wing, chipped off the glass, and the puck picked up here by Jordan Staal. 5 minutes plus gone in the third. Staal in full flight, walks in, and the shot deflected high off the netting and out of play. 4-game summary. Blue Jackets with a pair of goals, 17 seconds apart. 2:25 and 2:42.
Yeah, and that's it. You get McKenzie his 5th, Umberger his 14th for McKenzie. That's a 3-game goal streak. Again, the shots on goal, yes, they are tainted, but again, on the scoreboard, the Jackets certainly the 2-goal lead. To tighten things up a little bit, you can just sense Carolina gaining a little bit more confidence as this game moves on.
Well, they certainly dominated the second period. In all frankness, Bobrovsky certainly standing tall in the Blue Jacket nets, and in particular on that second of the 2 power plays. Jack Johnson off the wall. Dubinsky in the offensive zone. Squeezed out there by Falk, but fights through. Good work. Winning that board battle, but turns the puck over, and it's Jordan Staal with a right wing attempted feed that Jack Johnson was able to steal. Sekera, cross ice, off the skate there of Falk. He'll have to hustle back into his own zone.
You know, we talked about the defensive blue line, but that offensive blue line as well. 10 feet inside. Outside of that line, that puck has to get deep.
McKeith on for Trop. Trop hits McKenzie. Eric McKenzie pressured. Bowman hands to Letestu, right back for Bowman. Through the neutral zone, and a left wing feed. It's Gerby who steers it ahead. Bowman ridden off on the play by Nikita. Letestu takes a hit. Carolina from the corner. Bowman looking for some open ice. Walks in front. The Jackets will clear. It's Goluboff sending it to the right wing boards. Trop can't play it. Back in Jackets territory as we close in on the 7-minute mark. A left wing feed for Foligno, who comes in off the bench, replacing McKenzie. Foligno. Johansson. Johansson for Umberger. And Umberger had it poked away at the last moment by Gerby. Dvorak. Harrison. Left wing feed for Gerby. This line had a big night. And that win over Ottawa. Foligno. Able to bounce one off into the corner. Johansson pressures Lyles. Rims it around the wall. Ryan Murray steps up. Handed here to Johansson. Ryan Johansson with a shot. Hudobin hugging the near post, able to turn it away. Foligno comes up with a rebound, tried to roof it. High glove side, it sailed over top of the net, and away go the Kings. Through the neutral zone, across the line, Ruutu steers ahead. Dvorak in pursuit. One thing Radek Dvorak has had since an 18-year-old in the National Hockey League, great wheels. He can fly.
Well, I can remember coming in 1994 here. Training camp was in Greensboro, North Carolina with the Florida Panthers. And he could fly. He could control the puck low. He didn't mind that physical part of the game.
Falk, left point. Cycling out of the corner. Haynes look for Sekera in front. Good alert play there by the Jackets defenseman, Murray, who was able to step in front of that intended pass. Murray on that far side. Falk at the point, floated in, saved Bobrovsky, steered to the corner. Murray defends, up high Falk, on here to Sekera. Sekera unable to keep it in, pressure coming from Horton. He's got to wait until Carolina clear the zone, and now Semin will walk in. On to Eric Stahl from the left wing board. Spins, turns, and Isimov trying to chop it away. Pressure coming. Horton picks it up and slides cross ice. Matt Calvert speeds in. On that left wing, fires a shot that's deflected off the Carolina defender and out of play. 11:09 left, third period. 2-0, Columbus. 2-0 here in Carolina, and now time for tonight's AT&T Rewind. And for that, we head to Long Island, where the New York Islanders are playing host to the Boston Bruins. You pick up the action in the second period. 2-1, Boston leading.
Well, you take a look. Again, the New York Islanders, they are finding ways to score goals. And I want you to look at Michael Grabner in that slot area. Kyle Oposo, Thomas Hickey, they will get assists. 8:20 of that second period. And then at the 15:08 mark, again, they tie it up 3-3. Watch the play. Michael Grabner takes a look at Oposo, back to Oposo, into the back of the net. That's number 23 of the year. And at this current time, it is 4-3 Boston.
Dubinsky makes his way to the bench. Brandon certainly a key member for teaching this young hockey club how to play. And certainly as a former New York Ranger, Brandon Dubinsky, coming here to Columbus. And very much a leader on this hockey club. And it's the leadership of guys like Anisimov, Dubinsky, stepping up this season. James Wisniewski. The nightly play of Jack Johnson in particular since the start of January. They're showing the young players on this hockey club just what it means, Bill, to put the best efforts each and every shift.
And you know what they've got, too? Each and every one of them. And I'm going to go right to Brandon Dubinsky. They got personality. They are in the eye of the public. They love to be able to be around their teammates. And Dubinsky is one of the best at that.
Johnson at center. Offside. Calvert unable to hold the line as we reach the midway point of period number 3.
Well, after every Blue Jackets game, Fox Sports Ohio breaks down the game, talks to the players and the coaches on Blue Jackets Live, presented by IGS Energy. IGS Energy. Take control of your natural gas and electricity costs and enroll today at IGSenergy.com. Second round pick back in 2008, playing in his 13th game, and played very steady tonight. We're watching his feet, watching his gap control. His first pass out of the zone, pretty solid.
Atkinson, Dubinsky. Up high, Dubinsky spins, turns, scramble in front. Jackets can't get to it. Atkinson, a little upset there after being shoved down. Harrison steps away from Atkinson. Nathan Gerby squeezed out along the wall there by Foligno. Nick Foligno waits at the half board. Blue Jackets chip it off the wall. Ryan Johansson gloved ahead. Played by Columbus, so no whistle. Left wing feed. Foligno. Hudobin has to hustle back into the net, overplaying that one, but the Jackets could not get a shot at the Carolina cage. Pressure coming. Johansson walks out. Puck rolls off his stick. Alexander Semin. On here for Eric Stahl. Back for Semin. Semin for Stahl. And it was knocked away by the alert defensive play there of Wisniewski. Jackets steer to center. Foligno in pursuit as Semin crosses the line. Semin looking for that shot from the slot. Here's Eric Stahl. He shoots and scores.
Tulosti, you look at Stahl, you look at Semin, they're on top of it. And you'll see right now as they pull it across and into that sees exactly what goaltender Bobrovsky is giving him, and that's the 5-hole. It's wide open. They make it a 2-1 hockey game. The Jackets had a chance to get out of that zone, but unable to do so.
13th goal of the season for points leader Eric Staal. And we have a 2-1 hockey game with a little more than 8.5 left. And the Jackets have got to get back to their skating, straight-ahead play that we saw for most of that opening period.
And there is a look at Eric Staal, the Thunder Bay native. Played his hockey in Peterborough, and one guy that certainly has represented Canada in so many different things. And tonight, as a leader of this hockey team, gets his team within one.
Ron Hainsey. Quick shot towards the net there by Lyles. It sails wide of net. Lyles back to make the play, and it's on to Ron Hainsey. Jackets. Nathan Horton tying up, but offside the call, breaking his stick there as he attempted to play that puck. Staal from Semin and Falk at 11:18. It's a one-goal hockey game. Back here in Carolina, 64 straight shots stopped by Sergei Bobrovsky against this Carolina Hockey Club. If you think back to that game on the 10th of January, his shutout string brought to an end here after 111 minutes and 18 seconds of shutout hockey against this Carolina Hurricane Hockey Club. He's made a number of key stops tonight, Bill.
Well, he really has. And you go back to that second period where he stopped all 17 of them. Again, that one penalty kill. The Jackets had 7 shots against him, and now, hey, you look at the clock. Can he be his best? Well, hopefully that's in the formula tonight.
Well, Jackets need him to do just that. 7 minutes, 50 seconds remain. A little pushing and shoving here. Well, as we mentioned, Jackets hustle home. They will take on the Ottawa Senators. Coach Paul McLean and company. I can tell you that Anderson will start in goal. Ottawa has certainly improved their play of late. They're looking to climb back into the playoff picture. Our coverage begins at 6:30 with Brian Geesenslaw and Dan Kamal and Blue Jackets Live pregame. In front and a goal. Eric Staal goes high, glove side, and the Canes are dominating and have tied it up.
And that's how quick it can happen. And watch the face-off. McKenzie, he wins the draw, and then right there, Tootin pushed off the puck. One quick move to in front of the net. Stahl's there all alone. But what a play. You watch Semin, you watch Talusti. They help each other out, but it's Talusti finding Stahl. Again, a weak defensive coverage. The Jackets had won that face-off clean, but a great second effort by the Carolina Hurricanes to be able to create that scoring opportunity to tie this game.
Exactly 1 minute apart, the two goals here. 11-18 and 12-18. We have a 2-2 tie. And the line that certainly shined for this hockey club, reunited here recently, Semin, Staal, and Talusti. And they've cashed in with the back-to-back goals. Here's an attempt by the Jackets. That's deflected wide. Dubinsky knocks it down. The crowd's in it now. It's a 2-2 tie with 7:15 remaining. Third period regulation time. Wisniewski. The Jackets' 2 goals came 17 seconds apart. Carolina goals here in the third. Exactly 1 minute apart. And now 7 minutes remain. Icing the call against Carolina.
Well, coming into this game tonight, the structure was something that was going to be in question. Carolina loves to be able to fly, the aggressiveness. They've done that. But the rebound after that loss to Buffalo, the Jackets get ahead, and then 2 quick goals. Carolina on their own clock here in the third period. The Jackets just have to get back to that yeoman's effort of getting the puck deep, and that lunch pail attitude has to prevail.
Talusti draws the lone assist. This pass that sets up Staal, and we are tied at 2. Cycling out of the corner. Jackets hitting a couple of goalposts earlier. Right now, I've got to find the back of the net. There's a shot. It sails wide off the stick of Johansson up high. Jackets pressure. Johansson gets it back. Sends it off the wall. Falk gets an arm on it. Jackets have not had a power play here tonight. Dvorak at center. Chips it wide and then heads off to the bench. Jackets Nikitin back to play.
How do you draw penalties? That's by working. And that's a good effort right down there where Johansson had a hold of it. Looked like Falk might have got that arm inside. But any way you look at it, that work has to continue. Good things will happen.
Jackets with 4 shots this period. A total of 18, 31 shots in the hockey game for Carolina. Backhanded by Skinner out to center. Anisimov tied up. Here's Jordan Staal walking in. Tries to split the defense and scores. Gets away from Ryan Murray and backhands it by Bobrovsky along the ice. 3-2 Carolina. The Stahls have taken over.
Well, this is exactly what the Carolina Hurricanes have been known for. That's their aggressive rush up the ice. You can take a look. The Jackets pinch. Anisimov gets caught. And then look at the size and the strength of Jordan Staal. He pulls it inside between the stick and the foot. And in the same motion, with one hand on the stick, he ends up beating Bobrovsky to make this a 3-2 game. What a move by Staal.
His 11th of the season. And for the first time tonight, Carolina in front. .5:33 left. Lyles ahead on their right wing. Letestu all over that Carolina forward, who's then dropped. That is Semin. Jack Johnson had it taken away. Kick save, and that could be a game-saving stop. The right leg of Bobrovsky after the steal by Semin. Jackets back on their heels. Wisniewski keeps it in. Tripped up Khudobin all over Letestu. Bowman on the right wing. Bounces one wide of the net. Wisniewski stepping away from Gerby. Atkinson tosses it into Carolina territory. Jordan Staal is 11th for Lindholm and Skinner. The go-ahead goal. Jackets in front. Calvert. And he whipped it over top of the net. Dubinsky. Calvert. Chipped off the board. Stepping up is Wisniewski. Gerby tied up, and Atkinson let one fly. Matt Calvert walks out. Calvert to the point. Nikitin. Long shot. High and wide. Dubinsky looks for Atkinson. Atkinson tied up. That's Jordan Staal. Away from his opposite number, Calvert. Up high, Dubinsky. Dubinsky dishes. Nikitin. Dubinsky in the slot. Knocked away by Kirby. Gerby breaking his stick on that play, and he will head off. Dubinsky looks over his shoulder at referee Dan O'Halloran as he makes his way to the bench.
Well, a good give and go to, again, free Dubinsky up into that slot. Just unable to control that one.
Now Foligno in the corner. Out there with Umberger and Johansson. Puck picked up by Talusti. Sends it by Jack Johnson. Talusti regains that puck on the left wing. Sends it towards Bobrovsky, who gets the glove down and holds on with 3:31 left. We'll be back with the final 3 minutes and 31 seconds after this. Carolina Hurricanes, 3 goals here in the third. Our Ohio Health great save and keeping it a 1-goal hockey game. Sergei Bobrovsky.
Well, how about this pass by Semin? Manny Malhotra finds his space. And right off of the toe of Bobrovsky. What a save that was. Again, you mentioned it, Jeff. It keeps it a 3-2 game. 3 goals by Carolina in less than 3 minutes. And right now, the Jackets certainly have a little time. They've got to get it going. Starts in that face-off circle.
Johansson losing the draw to Eric Staal. Jackets nonetheless able to walk it out of the zone. Nick Foligno dumps into the corner. Umberger in pursuit. Played there by Sekera. Brings it around the board. Stepping up there is Murray. Murray sends it wide. Falk now. Hands it back to Foligno. Falk defends. Puck squirts free. Eric Staal on the backhand. Chips it off the glass. Back into Jackets territory. It's icing. Crowd doesn't like the icing call here either.
No, they thought it could have been a puck that he had a chance to get. That was not the case. That line coming right back out again. You've got Horton and Anisimov, Boone Jenner on that left point. They have Tootin, is it? Along with Wisniewski?
Exactly.
Yes.
Horton behind the net. Tootin in off the point. Clearing pass kept in by Wisniewski. Kicks it free. Quick shot. Anisimov rebound over the stick of Tootin, who had pinched it off the point. A huge rebound left in the slot. Anisimov hands it back to Tootin. Stop. Hudobin. Scramble in front. Jackets can't get to that puck. Here's Wisniewski dancing away from Bowman. Wisniewski slides ahead for Anisimov. Horton tried to get a stick on it. Jackets come up with it. Boone Jenner back for Nathan Horton. Horton chips to the corner. Off the point comes Tootin. Bouncing puck. That puck is bouncing and finally settled down here by Jenner. Gerby trying to hold off Jenner, giving up some size. Jenner, Anisimov. Horton looks for some open ice in front. Sekera's right there. Jenner, the net's been dislodged. And play whistled down. And I'll tell you what, there were a good couple of seconds before O'Halloran realized that the net was dislodged and displaced totally from its position.
Well, they do a nice job below the goal line. Jackets are working hard. Let's watch and see how that net gets off. And it's the goaltender that looks like he knocks it off himself. And let's take a look again as they continue to work on that cycle low. The defense are pinching. Tootin's part of it. You hope for a bouncing puck to that slot area. But a fortuitous bounce was not in the cards on that last shift.
1:58 left. We'll keep an eye on Sergei Bobrovsky. The Jackets will look to get the extra skater out. Jordan Staal, rink wide. Dubinsky attempting to play it. Lyles dumps it deep. Jack Johnson shovels ahead. Dubinsky settles it down, walks to center, looks cross ice. Nikitin dumps in. Bobrovsky remains in the net. 90 seconds left. Bouncing puck in front. Atkinson denied. Hudobin with his finest stop of the night from point-blank range. Puck moved. Skinner. Breakaway. Walking in. Bobrovsky off the goal post. Drawing Bobrovsky out. It went right off the pipe.
Well, you still have some life right now with just a little over a minute.
Jackets send it the length of the ice. Hustling here. Onside. Jack Johnson. Now Bobrovsky will make his way out, but Johnson tosses it back to center. 6 skaters on. Wisniewski looks to the left wing boards. It's Anisimov dumping in. Hudobin slides it off into the corner. The puck sent up and out. Fedor Tootin pressured here by Malhotra. Well into the final minute. Wisniewski, long cross-ice pass for Anisimov. Knocked away. The long shot wide. Wisniewski. Final 30 seconds. Ryan Johansson steps in. Knocked away from him. Wisniewski looks to the line. Anisimov tries to find the handle. Fedor Tootin. On to Wisniewski. The pass for Horton sailed the length of the ice, and the Jackets are going to be called for icing.
Well, the Jackets had the opportunity just a little over a minute ago in that offensive zone. Good work below the goal line. Atkinson positions himself into the slot, and Calvert finds it right on his forehand. A good, quick shot. And then back the other end. Good move by Semin. Up off of the pipe. Back the other way.
From the draw, Falk distributes the puck behind the Jacket net. Final seconds. Johansson hands the puck to Staal. Bobrovsky makes the stop. And there's 0.3 of a second left. It will simply be a formality. They'll drop the puck. And for only the 3rd time this season, the Blue Jackets take a lead into period number 3 and drop a decision. They're now 18-2-1 when leading after 40 minutes. Sergei Bobrovsky and the Jackets file out. The Carolina Hurricanes, for the first time this season, defeat the Blue Jackets and extend their winning streak to 4 games. Not only does Carolina, though, win this hockey game, they climb ahead of the Blue Jackets into 3rd place in the Metro.